Hey guys, what's up? I just wanted to do a small little video on my absolute favorite airbrush of all time, which is the Badger Sotar 2020. I have the zero point 0.2 version, and it does come with an exchangeable needle of a zero point 0.3, but I always use it in the zero point 0.2 configuration. Uh, by far my favorite airbrush. Um, the trigger control, the small cup, um, the ease that it gives me with the needle, um, the adjustability of it, um, and it looks absolutely amazing on video. That's not the reason why I love it so much, but it is a plus. Um, but I've had this for a while. I've used it in conjunction with other airbrushes. I am a sucker for uh, odd looking airbrushes, but I do require them to have quality. This is another one. This is the Meng model Yunmo 002. Absolutely love this airbrush as well. I've done a lot of painting with this. Um, but yeah, I use different airbrushes, switch out a lot of colors, switch out a lot of techniques. So I do use different airbrushes, but oftentimes when I'm just airbrushing with my Badger, um, I just forget to to switch it out for another one, and just continue on using the same old airbrush. That's how much I love it. I absolutely love the trigger control. It is super responsive. It's super sharp. Extremely high detail. Um, Perfect for what I do with it. Um, but then I was just scrolling through the internet, and I came across what looked like a Badger Sotar. Um, I was curious about what was going on, and I saw this for sale on AliExpress of all places for $12. $12. So, because I love the Sotar so much, it's absolute by far my favorite airbrush of all time. Uh, Outperforms any airbrush that I have. So, looking at this, I was like, this looks a lot like the Sotar 2020. Um, should I buy it and try it and see what happens? And so I ordered it $12. I was like, I've got airbrush parts that are more expensive than this. And I was just out of curiosity because um, I do intend to inform Badger that somebody kind of stole their design and kind of get their thoughts on it, and also makes you kind of wonder because this is advertised as made in the United States of America, made in the USA. It even says USA. They kind of pride themselves on that, so I kind of like that. I support, um, made in the USA. Um, so makes you kind of wonder if you look at this airbrush. Do the parts come from China, and do they assemble the airbrushes in China? What is going on? Because what usually happens, I don't know if that's the case right here, but what usually happens with knockoff products is that a factory gets the job to produce a certain product, a branded product like this, for example. I don't know if that's the case, but that's how it usually goes. Then the factory in China produces the branded product. And then what they do behind the scenes, they kind of steal the design, they alter it a little bit, and then they make a knockoff version of it. And then they sell that on AliExpress or Temu or what's the other one? A Wish or something like that. Um, and then they advertise it like, whatever. But the Sotar is a very specific looking airbrush. Badger has a very specific look. For example, their needle control is very specific. You don't see this in any other brand but Badger. Their cup design, very unique design, right? So it's looking at this is obviously stolen from the Badger design, even down to the cup shape, and obviously the needle control. So I bought it for $12. Yeah, $12. Um, and I started using it. And for a $12 airbrush, I was flabbergasted. This thing sprayed everything. Needle sharp lines. It sprayed metallics. It sprayed primer, regular paint, airbrush paint, everything that you can think of. It sprayed, and needle sharp lines, pencil sharp lines, I should say. So I was very surprised. It does have some issues sometimes, like it clogs a little bit here and there sometimes, but easily fixable with just just the basic airbrush things. It does have things I do not have with the Sotar, by the way. I do not get any clogging with the Sotar. It sprays absolutely amazing. Um, but yeah, that makes you wonder if the Badger airbrush design actually contributes to, if you apply that same kind of design to a cheap airbrush, that actually increases the performance of a cheap airbrush. Um, I don't know what it is. It's either made with the exact same part. I couldn't tell you. First of all, it does have a lot of differences. For example, the the tip is completely different. Um, the hose mechanism, air hose mechanism is completely different. But for the back part, I could not tell you. I don't own a microscope, so I can't put these under a microscope and see which parts are machined with cheap parts or expensive parts. I couldn't tell you. All I have to go on is how the airbrush performs when I'm spraying paint. That's the only kind of you know measurement that I can apply. Um, but I just I'm surprised. Um, and for $12, if it breaks after performing its duties adequately and even good, for $12, if it breaks, I'll buy a new one. Right? That's kind of like the philosophy of AliExpress. Um, would I ever replace my Badger? No way. There's no way. I would never But you gotta wonder, is this coming from the same factory? I'm definitely gonna ask Badger about it because maybe the factory that produces the Badgers is stealing their design, and maybe they can put a stop to it. Obviously, it's not very cool to just copy somebody's design, even if it's a good product. Still, Badger. I would pick a Badger over anything else any day. But you gotta wonder, like, well, what's going on here? And I bought it out of curiosity. I've tried it out on a test piece, which is already primed over by now because I do intend to try something else. But when I say that it performed very well, yeah, you could take my word for that. It performed very well for 12. I've got more expensive airbrushes that didn't even perform half as good as this one. So I kind of wonder, is it like the Badger mechanism that they copied that made it work so well? Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just so surprised. So just wanted to let you guys know, just a kind of behind the scenes kind of video. This not nothing special, but I do want to pledge my support to Badger. Um, they produce some of the the best performing airbrushes with a very unique kind of look, which appeals to me. I like kind of nice looking stuff. I like unique looking stuff. I'm obviously on camera a lot, so having a cool looking airbrush kind of helps my appeal a little bit. Um, but as for the performance, I am absolutely in love with Badger Sotar 2020. Um, I never wanna switch to another airbrush. Um, I'm looking at maybe down the line somewhere trying another airbrush from Badger. I've heard that their Eclipse, is it the Eclipse? Let me look it up real quick. Got it saved somewhere. Let me look it up. Uh, no, it's their Extreme Patriot, which I was looking at. Um, Affordable, won't break the bank. Still, it's a high-end airbrush, so you're still gonna pay a sufficient amount, but it won't, it cost you an arm and a leg basically. But yeah, so I'm looking at uh, other other products from them, but that's down the line. I don't have the money right now. So if I'm gonna send this video off to Badger, see what they say. I'm absolutely. I wonder what's the story behind this airbrushes. I wonder if they know about it. So, um, you know, I will keep using this. Um, but just Badger, a heads up. You might be your designs might be the victim of copyright something. I don't know, infringement. I don't know. So guys, thank you, and I'll see you next video.